Let me start off by recognizing Vincent Muridhi, the sponsor of this episode. Yesterday evening, Moses Kuria confirmed to the entire country via a tweet that he is officially stepping down from the role of Statehouse economic advisor to pursue personal interests. In fact, here's a tweet from Moses Kuria. This evening, I have met my boss and my friend President William Ruto. The president has graciously accepted my decision to resign from government. I thank President Ruto for having given me an opportunity to serve as Cabinet Secretary for Investments, Trade and Industry for 11 months, Public Service Delivery and Performance Management for 9 months, and Senior Economic Advisor for the last 10 months. As I move on to pursue personal interests, I am proud of the work the President and I did to implement the bottom-up economic transformation, which I designed together with the President as our 2022 electoral platform, Long Live Kenya. And at the bottom, he has attached a picture of President Ruto shaking hands with him. Now, in this video, I want us to look into some of the reasons why Moses Kuria has decided to leave his post in Statehouse. And with no further ado, let's get after it. Reason number 1. I suspect Moses Kuria was asked to resign. Why so? In less than 48 hours ago, he went on Jeff Koinange's show and told the president that he should grow balls and square it out with Gachagua instead of dragging everybody into this childish fight. Here's a tip.
And if they had William Ruto, I do believe that William Ruto and Rigiji had very serious differences. But like two grown-up men with balls, they should go aside and just go mano mano. They box each other, but they don't drag us into all these or whatever. So.
Now, when you say such things, and we all know the president spends a lot of time on TV watching what people are saying, it's bound to make the CIC feel some type of way. So I suspect because of how Moses Kuria conducted himself in that interview, and believe you me, that's not the only truth bomb that Moses Kuria dropped. There was quite a number, and I believe it was in the run-up to his resignation, or it is what led to his resignation, or firing for that matter. But at the end of the day, that kind of talk towards the president, it's bound to get people like Farouk and others a bit skirmish. Second reason why Moses Kuria has decided to resign is because he's been subjected to a hostile work environment. And I'll give you a personal story before we touch on Moses Kuria. There is a company I worked for some years back. They made me sign a permanent contract to work in Eldoret. And because of COVID lockdown, none of us could leave Nairobi. They posted me in one of the corners of Nairobi on a permanent contract which I signed. A few months later, they made me sign to go work on Mombasa Road. 4 months into Mombasa Road, they tell me there is a staff who has died in Malindi. We want you to go and replace this staff in Malindi. I ended up resigning from that company. This is exactly what we call a hostile work environment, whereby akufukuzae hakwambii toka. They just show you. Moses Kuria was CS of Trade and Investment. He was removed there, taken to Public Service. He was removed there, taken to Statehouse as an economic advisor. What if he was being moved once again to another environment? Maybe he's now being made ambassador of Qatar. They have frustrated Moses Kuria to the point of resigning. This could be another factor why we are seeing this man leaving his post. No one wants to leave Statehouse. There is so much power by being affiliated with Statehouse. Hata mtu anaosha choo huko Statehouse is somebody in this country. They have direct access to those who are coming to brief the president on security matters. They can ask for favors here and there. There is a lot of power around that particular building. People don't just leave to pursue personal interests unless they've been frustrated to the point that it makes no sense whatsoever, just like it didn't for me a few years back and I decided to resign. Same thing we're seeing here with Moses. Reason number 3 behind Moses Kuria's resignation, I would personally put this on the periphery. Nonetheless, though, I can't ignore it. Could it be that Moses Kuria has been given the assignment to resign from government and go infiltrate the Wamunyoro group and feed information back to government? I've seen the kind of hatred Moses Kuria has towards Rigiji. If that still exists, he could be a sleeper cell, a political sleeper cell. Because what are these personal interests? All personal interests that politicians have has something to do with politics. I don't think he's going back to Gatundu South. I tend to believe he wants to become governor of Kiambu, to go head on with Wamatangi. And he could be using his own party, or he might decide to use DCP party or become affiliated with DCP. But can they trust him? Or should he be trusted for that matter? Those are questions people should be asking themselves as Moses Kuria leaves office to go and pursue his personal interests, which I believe is the gubernatorial seat of Kiambu. How he plays his politics and who he plays it with is where the danger lies. If he's a sleeper cell, he will be ratting out all these people and all their travel itinerary and all their plans back to the CIC. Munapanga mkutano inapanguliwa. You find a barricade. People already know what it is you're up to. So let people be very careful with Moses Kuria. I always say, if you're in the dugouts of the opposition, you need every man man on hand to help you further the agenda. But not every man is good for that particular purpose. Nonetheless, guys, that's just my opinion. Do let me know your own comments in the comment section below. Why do you think Moses Kuria has left his post to go pursue personal interests? And what personal interests are these? Just drop me your comments. I'll do my best to read them and to give you a response. And in the event you're here for the first time, please go on and hit the subscribe button. And if you're watching for a different platform, just head on over to YouTube, search for David Wafula, hit the subscribe button. You're going to be getting a ton of content of this nature. If politics is something you're passionate about, this is definitely the one channel that you really need to subscribe to. Alright guys, adios. Thank you for choosing David Wafula as your primary news platform. We put countless hours in research, recording, and editing. By showing up each and every day to watch our videos, you encourage us to generate more videos for the viewers. We are on a mission to inform, educate, and build a better tomorrow. To our thousands of followers in a world full of presidents, kings, and queens, you are the real gem. Adios.